back to our channel, everyone. Again with you, Omar from Brownsburg Motorsports, and today we have the 2018 Chrysler C300 with a V6 3.6 liter engine, and we're going to be showing you the step-by-step on how to remove and replace the spark plugs. Stay tuned. Alright, since we're going to be disconnecting the intake manifold and the throttle body and a lot of electric components, I would recommend disconnecting the battery. So in the trunk area, you're going to lift up this cover over here, and your battery is right there. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect that 10mm right there, and leave a towel underneath it, so that way it doesn't cause any shortage or anything in case it touches anything. Alright, we went ahead and opened that hood, and supposedly you have an engine cover over here. It doesn't have any bolts on it, you just lift it up and it comes right off. And so the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to clear the bank one. The spark plugs on it is really easy, and this is where bank 1 is. Bank 2 is right there. Bank 2, we have the intake manifold on top of that, so that's something we're going to have to remove, but only the upper part of the intake manifold. So we're going to go ahead and first open the clamp on the side over here, and we're going to just pull on that. There we go. And then on this side there's another clamp over there. Same thing, has a flat, you can use a flat head to open it. It's like a hose clamp, basically, same idea. You just open that and start like wobble it while you pull on it, and it comes, should be coming right off. All right, let's come from this side. I believe there is a, there is a connector on the side for the air mass flow. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that. I'm sure you can see it now. It's right there. And you can remove this, or you can disconnect it. Let me see. I think it has a locking tab on it, or no? It does not. There we go. So what I did is you just press on that tab, push it in, and then push it out. Because sometimes it's stuck. You try to push on the tab and like pull it, but it doesn't come off. So just push the tab, push it in, and push it out, and it comes right off. Now we can go ahead and, there we go. That's what it was. It was held on with that tab over there, but now this is out. We can go ahead and remove that gasket, put it back on our intake, put it back on our house over here. We're gonna put that to the side, moving on to the next step. All right, so first of all, we got a few things here that are holding the intake manifold, and you see all the harnesses and whatnot. All of those have to be disconnected. So what I'm gonna start with over here, I'm gonna start by removing this from here. I'm gonna use my clip remover, just kind of pry this off. And then we're gonna remove this connector over here. It has a locking tab, which is that red thing over there. Then I'm gonna press and pull. If that doesn't work, another tip is you can use a flathead. You use a flathead on the front, you push the tab up, and then you pull it right there. And that's the tab I was talking about, like you can push it up, because generally speaking, when you push this tab, the other side lifts up. So if it doesn't lift up enough, you use a flathead and you get it. All right, anyhow, moving on. We got the tab over here for that connector. Let's see if we can disconnect this. I'm gonna grab my over here, and then after that, well, we gotta release the tab again. There we go, just like we did with the throttle body. All right, so we disconnected that. The harness is attached to the, here, let's move this first. There we go. I just use my clip remover and lift it up. Same thing with this side here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try and show you. Just gonna try and pry off the hose. It'd be nice if we had a hose plier. All right, I think we're gonna have to use a hose plier. Oh, actually no, it's coming out. There we go. There we go, perfect. So these two are off. Next, let's see here. So this harness is attached behind the throttle body. This has a clamp on it, so I'm gonna see if I can just lift it up, just like that. That's the clamp I was talking about. So we went ahead and removed that. We got this away, we got this off. Now let's see what we got on the side. We got the harness attached to that bracket that holds the intake manifold. So I'm gonna try and remove, or like move the harness out of my way. Perfect. That gives me a lot more space. Then we have a 10 millimeter nut over there, another 10 millimeter nut over there. Let me see if you guys can see it over there. Can you guys see it over there? Right there. Yeah, you guys can see it. Let me see if I can bring the camera over. All right, so let me see if I can zoom in. We got the first one right here, and the second one is right behind it, right there, on top of my finger. So I'm gonna grab my 10 millimeter, and I'm gonna remove those two. And you guys can stay with me. All right, 10 millimeter. I just had a 10 millimeter in my hand for the battery, so let me grab that. All right, got my 10 millimeter. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the first one. Like I said, this is a bracket that holds the intake manifold. Okay, this is the first 10. I'm gonna put this on the side so we don't lose it. I'm gonna do the second one as well. I just have to kind of untighten it a little bit, and then I can get it with my hands. Oh, well, not yet. I know everything is in the way. But yeah, as you can see, bank one, this here, is really easy to get to, which we will show the entire process once we have the intake manifold off. We will show the entire process. Let me take a look on this side. I'm pretty sure we don't have a bracket that holds anything. Oh yeah, we do. We have two 10 millimeters. So let me bring the camera on this side so I can show you the rest of the process. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and remove this head hose out of here. It's deleted. These engines are standard. They put them on the Caravan and the Chrysler Pacifica, and the Charger and the Challenger, all standard engines. So sometimes you find stuff like this that doesn't look right, but it's normal, don't worry. All right, we got that out of the way. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's our first 10 millimeter nut over there. The second one is right here next to it. So let me grab my 10 millimeter. And I'm gonna use a wrench this time because the space will probably not allow me. There we go. Let me loosen them both first. And then that's where the second one is at, by the way. It's right next to it, but on the other side. All right, let's see if we can use our hands now. Perfect. That's the first 10 millimeter. And I'll put that on the side in a second. Second one. All right. With these two off, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking off the bolts for the intake manifold itself, or the upper part of the intake manifold. So let me get the camera in a better angle for you. There we go. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pretty sure we have 8 millimeter. So I'm gonna be using my gun over here. Let me grab that. I know it might sound like it has a lot of torque, but it's not. It doesn't really. Okay. Let me lower the torque. That's one. That's two. That's three. We have 4 over here. And we have 5 right there. We got 6 right there. And then I gotta be able to see 7. So 7 is gonna be, I might have to jump in here to be able to see this, just to make sure we get the right one. Oops, let me get the. All right, so, oh, I think it's just 7. I think it's just 7, not 8. So the last one is right there behind the intake. I mean, behind the throttle body. Everything is accessible, as you can see. I mean, we have, like, you see them, like, they're obvious. They're all in the same line. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I don't think we have any more for the upper part of the intake manifold, and you don't have to remove the throttle body from it. I mean, you can come off all at one piece. And then here we go. All right, so we can put this on the side here. Now the challenge, I would say, is as you saw, there is a bracket on that side pushing it this way with the studs, and there is two brackets on the side also with the studs coming out of the actual intake itself. So the challenge would be loosening them from there. And we have two options. Either we loosen the two brackets on this side over here from the bottom, or we loosen the bracket on this side. Let's see which one is easier to access. And I'm gonna go and put my money on the one on this side because I can see it. I mean, I can see the other two as well, but I believe it's only one on this side. So let me get the camera in a better angle and I'll show you how we're gonna do that. One more thing I forgot is this hose over here that goes to the back of the intake. So I'm gonna use my clip remover and kinda just like push it out. It's the hose right there. There we go. Whew. That was a little bit of a pain, but nothing not doable. Everything is doable if you have the will and the tools. All right, so now let me try and show you where the last bolt is at. So the last bolt for the bracket, I mean. So you see that stud over there with the plastic wrapped around it? Let me see if I can zoom in. Right there, yep. I'm gonna try and push that, push the harness out of the stud, and it should be 10 millimeter as well, just right there. I'm gonna loosen that, and that should be the end of the bracket. So we can remove the bracket on the side and then pull the intake towards us. I'm gonna keep you guys with me. Let me put the camera back here so you can see better. And I hope I'm not getting in the way of the video. If there was anything that's not clear, feel free to shoot me a text message or comment or text me on Insta, on TikTok. I'm very responsive. There we go. And I just used my clip remover on the stud and kind of pried it out. All right, now let's see what size is it. Honestly, that doesn't look like a 10 millimeter. That looks more like a 13 millimeter. So I'm gonna grab my 13 millimeter from here. And let's see if that will fit. Yes, it is 13 millimeter. I might try it, actually. Let me double check from this side. It might be a 12. It's a little bit loose. I'm gonna try a 12 millimeter. All right, let's try the 12. No, I think I was right on the money the first time. Yeah, I think it's a 13 millimeter. Definitely 13. I'm sure for all of you folks out there who've done this once or twice know this riddle. So I'm gonna grab my 13 millimeter wrench again. I don't think a ratchet would fit. I mean, you would need like a deep socket. And make sure we're gonna go ahead and tighten it. All right. Let me get back in position. Perfect. There we go. It's coming loose. I might be able to remove it with my fingers now, or loosen it with my fingers. No, not yet. I guess I was dreaming. Oh, the entire stud is spinning. Sweet. Okay, so the entire stud is actually coming out with the nut. And on second look, I don't think that was a nut. I think that was a stud. It had a nut on it, so you can actually tighten it to the block and hold the bracket with it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to use my wrench throughout the entire thing here. Almost done. All right, we are almost done. Now I can probably, I can remove it with my hands, and the bracket is loose, which was exactly our goal. All right, I'm just gonna set the bracket over there because it has like there is a harness attached to it. But this is the bolt or the stud that we just removed. It's a 13 millimeter. It sits at the bottom of the bracket over there. So we have our first 10 millimeter over there, second 10 millimeter over there, and the last one 13 millimeter on the bottom. That way now, as you will see, the intake is loose on the side. I can lift it up and slide it out. And let me make sure, take a look at the back, see if there's any connectors or harnesses. It doesn't look like there is any, so we are good to clear that. Perfect. Now, both our banks or both sides of the engine are accessible. Let me go ahead and move this. We gotta make sure we put this back when we're done. Now we can access the all the coils on both sides. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit so you guys be able to see the entire, oh, sorry about that. All right, so let's see if we can start with this 10 millimeter all across for the ignition coils. I'm just gonna loosen them first, and then I get it with a power ratchet. All right, now we can disconnect all the coils. And if you're replacing the coils, this video will also apply to you. Now, be careful with the intake manifold open like that. I had my rug here, so I'm gonna go ahead and place that on top of it just in case we make sure nothing falls inside. Let me see. Might need to press it with a flat. These connectors, you just push the tab. If it actually allows you to push it, there we go. You just push the tab over there. There we go. If it gets stuck, push it in, push it out while pressing the tab. There we go. We got all six of them. Now we can loosen the 10 millimeters that are on the coils. Let me grab my gun real quick. And as you saw, I loosened them first. And I want to create a lot of torque on those valve covers because this does screw into the valve cover. So with them already loose. And the reason why we're doing this is because the car is experiencing slight hesitation. Unfortunately, there is no codes, but customer stated there is a slight hesitation and misfire on idle. And I asked him when was the last time these spark plugs were done. And my understanding is that these are the original spark plugs that came on the car. The car right now has over 100,000 miles on it. So I have no idea how they made it that far. I know his ownership, he's had the car for over 80,000 miles. And I don't think the spark plugs were done at 20 or like 15,000 miles when he first bought the car. Now with the bolts off, I'm gonna go ahead and pull on the coils slowly, just like that. All right, both hands, slowly. Okay, next one there, next one. And then I have a certain order for the coils, by the way. These coils, you can put them back in whichever way, shape, or form you want. All right, let's see the type of sockets we need. It's gonna be this one right here. Let me grab my extension. Perfect. Now for the spark plugs, you definitely don't use a power tool. All right, now as you can see, oh, these are Champion. I don't think these are the original ones. Okay, so I guess they were replaced at like 30 or 20,000 miles on. Or they had 20, but yeah, as I don't know if you can see it, let me turn off the lights because the light is not allowing me to watch. There we go. You see how bad those spark plugs are? You see the power, like all the electricity seeping through the edges over here? And that's on all of them. All of them are like that. So yeah, these definitely needed to be replaced. All right, we got the new parts in. I got NGK, laser iridium. I would always recommend these. That's the part number for them right there. And they are some of my favorites spark plugs, honestly. I got 6 of them, obviously. I know that you see them on box only, but it's time to install these back. And I'm gonna start by dropping them one at a time. So see, this is how the spark plug is supposed to look like. It's not supposed to have that orange on the side. If you see the orange or like the yellowish line, that means the power is seeping through. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that first there. Go to the second one. I'm gonna drop all of these, and then we'll So as you saw, I dropped all those spark plugs in. Now, with our ratchet, I'm gonna grab my socket and extension, and I'm gonna start tightening these until I stop with my hands. You definitely do not wanna use a power tool with these, because if you mess up the head, that is a completely different job. You always wanna make sure you take your time as well. As you can see, I'm doing all of them by hand. I'm gonna keep you guys with me. I'm just gonna do all of these by hand first, and then we tighten them with a ratchet. Alright, now as you saw, I tightened all of them with my hand. I'm gonna go back with the ratchet. I'm gonna tighten them one at a time. Slowly, slowly. You don't have to exert like a lot of power. As you saw, the moment my hand starts stopping, that's it. That's it. All right. And that's it. Now we're gonna go ahead and install our coils back. Right, I always use the electric grease, as you can see it over there. I just like put a little bit of it in the ignition coil, and we put that back. Okay. Opposite, there we go. That's the last one. Then go ahead and connect these back. Just push them in. When you heard it click, that means it's good. That means it's installed properly. Is to connect the mass airflow sensor and to put the intake back. And let me get these tools out of the way. All right, let's do that. This is gonna go here, and this we gotta make sure. Oops, sorry about that. We gotta make sure it aligns. You have to slide it back in there. There we go. I was just pushing it for the tab in the bottom. That one right there. That's the tab right there. Then I'm gonna grab my flathead. First, connect the mass airflow sensor back. 2. Put this back in. Oops. Be careful there. And then the last one. Last one is on the side here by the air cleaner box. All right. And we are all set. That's the end of our video, everyone. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. And like always, make sure you like and follow for more.